Welcome to the Light Dance Soaring Free channel. So I actually want you to check your phone right now. Like, just pull it out.
Right. Take a look at your texts.
Yeah, because I want to know, do you have at least one undefined relationship in your phone? Like a chat where you just don't really know how to label it?
I bet a lot of people are nodding right now.
Oh, definitely. And here's another one. Have you ever, like, rejected someone, maybe told them you just weren't ready to commit, only to feel intensely jealous when they found a new partner a month later?
That is a very specific but very common kind of sting.
It really is. Or maybe you've caught yourself cursing out a player for leaving you on read.
Yeah.
Right? While you were simultaneously, replying to 3 other people yourself.
That's the classic double standard.
Exactly. So today we are diving deep into this fascinating essay by counseling psychologist Ding Shuking. It's titled, "Your Sincerity is Just Their Shift Schedule." And our mission today is to essentially unpack this modern dating era of the Sea King.
Right. And for anyone who might not know the slang, a Sea King is basically the modern term for a player. It's, someone who juggles multiple partners at once. So they have a whole sea of fish on the hook.
Right.
And, well, the expert context here is crucial because if you answered yes to any of those questions you just asked, you're either a victim of this ecosystem or a potential client of it.
Which is a tough pill to swallow for some of us, I mean.
It is. But instead of just, morally condemning these multi-daters, we need to put this whole behavior on the dissection table. We're going to combine attachment theory, evolutionary biology, and sociology to understand what is actually happening to our intimate lives.
Okay, so let's get into the evolutionary part first. Because to understand why we're constantly swiping, the text says we have to look at this massive collision between our ancient biology and modern technology.
Right, the evolutionary psychology angle.
Yeah, where historically males tried to maximize their gene spread by casting wide nets, while females, selected carefully for resources. But I have to push back on this.
Oh, go ahead.
Wait, so does science just give people a biological free pass to be a player? Like, oh, sorry, it's just my DNA, I can't help it. That feels like a really convenient excuse.
It does sound like an excuse, yeah. But the text clarifies this beautifully. Humans evolved a frontal lobe for a reason. That's our impulse control. And on top of that raw biology, civilization built what the author calls an illegal addition. An
illegal addition, like building a shed without a permit.
Exactly like that. It's an ethical superstructure constructed out of shame, laws, and, well, grandma's nagging.
Oh, grandma's nagging. That is so true.
Right. In traditional society, like our grandparents' era, that underlying player instinct was locked down hard.
Because if you messed around, the village gossip would ruin you. You were economically reliant on your community, so you couldn't afford to be ostracized.
Exactly. The instincts were there, but the social cost was just too high. But now we have to look at the sociological shift. There's this concept from Zygmunt Bauman called liquid modernity.
Liquid modernity. Okay, so meaning things aren't solid anymore?
Right. Everything is fluid, temporary. And our smartphones basically act as a portable sea. Dating apps are just these infinite option shells.
Infinite option shell.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so we substitute actual connections for fleeting interactions. We trade commitments for endless options. And instead of having a hard conversation to say goodbye, we just swipe.
We just unmatch them. It's so ironic, though, because we curse the Sea Kings, we complain about them constantly, but we all subscribe to the exact ecosystem that mass produces them.
We absolutely do. And because we have all these endless options and we're so exhausted by it, we start relying on these really harsh instant labels to make sense of our dating fatigue.
Which brings us to the language we use, right? Calling someone trash or a Sea King.
Yeah, the term Sea King is actually a massive rhetorical downgrade. Decades ago, if someone acted like this, they might be called romantic or a wanderer.
Oh, right. It had almost a poetic vibe to it.
It did. It allowed for nuance. But now it's just a harsh moral verdict. It flattens all that human complexity into just a tool for emotional venting.
But wait, I want to ask about the gender politics of those labels, because it doesn't affect everyone the same way.
Not at all. The double standard is staggering. If a woman is labeled the equivalent a sea queen, she faces this intense, profound sexual shame.
Yeah.
But if a man gets that label, he's often just seen as, a bit unruly. Maybe his buddies even cheer him on.
That actually perfectly ties into this fascinating Taiwanese term mentioned in the text. It's the kikosine.
Oh, right, the pig brother spirit.
Yeah, dikosi.
Yeah.
It's this half-joking, slightly derogatory term used for men who are just acting really lustful or aggressively hitting on women. But it's used in a way that just kind of laughs it off, like, oh, he's just possessed by the tikosin, what can you do?
It's basically a cultural free pass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there is absolutely no cultural equivalent for women that lets them be laughed off so easily. The labels for women are just permanently damaging.
And these biased labels, they are a symptom of a much larger structural problem. Ding Shuqing talks about this complete marketization of modern love, which creates profound dilemmas for you, the listener. It creates 4 layers of intimate alienation.
Okay, 4 layers. Walk us through them.
Well, the first layer is the pure commodification of people. The interfaces of these apps literally turn humans into comparative shopping items.
Like scrolling through an Amazon catalog, but for dates.
Precisely. Then the second layer is the gender power reshuffling. Women gained autonomy, which is great, but it totally disrupted the old hunter and defender romantic script.
Leaving a really messy power vacuum where nobody knows the rules anymore.
Right. And then layer 3 is social media logic. Flirting is now packaged as an SOP, a standard operating procedure. It's like a personal brand. In that environment, being genuinely sincere just feels like taking on a bad debt.
Oh man, that leads right into the 4th layer, which is the one that really hit me. The hidden costs of emotional labor.
It's exhausting, isn't it?
It is. Think about it. You, the listener, are basically doing mandatory mental overtime. You are sitting there trying to decipher the exact difference between a text that just says, and one that says, with an exclamation point.
Oh, absolutely. Or trying to analyze whose hand that is in the background of an Instagram story.
Yes. You are playing detective, analyzing micro-interactions, and nobody is paying you for this labor. It's a complete drain on your mental health.
It really is. And if the dating market is this exhausting and alienating for everyone, we have to ask, why do people keep aggressively playing the game? Why be a sea king?
Right. Why keep swiping if it's so terrible?
Well, this is where we look at the psychological defense mechanisms running under the surface. Combining the clinical perspective with attachment theory, there are basically 3 types of these Cs, these multi-daters.
Okay, what's the first one?
The first type is afraid to drown. This is driven by deep, insecure childhood attachment.
So, like, relying on one person just feels way too dangerous to them.
Exactly. They feel like if they put all their eggs in one basket, they will be utterly destroyed by abandonment. So, spreading their bets across multiple people is a defense mechanism. They aren't trying to hurt you, they are just terrified of drowning.
Wow. Okay, so what's the second type?
The second type is proving existence. These people are swimming in what the author calls a sea of mirrors.
A sea of mirrors, so they just need constant external validation.
Right. They have this huge inner void. Every match, every message is just a mirror reflecting back to them that they are desired and therefore they exist. It's not about the other person at all.
It's just feeding the ego to prove they are alive. That is really sad, actually. And the third type?
The third is the extended adolescent.
Well,
they aren't necessarily deeply traumatized. They're just matching the rhythm of this liquid modernity. It's light, it's commitment phobic, and they're just coasting on the vibe of the era.
Okay, but wait. This brings up a really vital question. Because if someone is a player, a sea king, due to deep-seated childhood trauma, like they are afraid to drown, are we obligated to stick around and fix them?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Because I think a lot of people listening have fallen into that exact trap. Oh, I can heal them. I can show them they're safe.
Yeah, but the psychological boundary here is crucial for self-protection. Understanding someone's trauma script does not mean you have to be cast in their play.
Say that again, because that is so important.
Understanding their script does not mean you have to be in their play. The ultimate boundary is saying, I understand why you are this way, and I have empathy for your fear of drowning, but I choose not to participate in this dynamic.
Because if you don't step back, they will just pull you under with them.
Exactly. You have to protect yourself.
So we have to move beyond just throwing these cheap labels around. We need to rediscover how to treat all these digital options like actual human beings. Because right now, we are navigating this incredibly complex web. We've got, traditional Han loyalty, Japanese restraint, and then this loud Western individualism all clashing together.
It's a cultural collision, and the author leaves us with a really provocative final metaphor using another Taiwanese phrase. The phrase is 追了佛普.
meaning literally a torn rag drifting aimlessly with the current.
Right, and usually people use this to judge someone. They say, look at that drifting rag, it has no stability, no roots. But we forget to consider the overwhelming kinetic force of the water.
The water being the dating apps, the liquid modernity, the endless options.
Yes. In an era that systematically turns everyone into an option, are we so busy standing on the shore condemning the players that we don't realize the tide is quietly drowning all of us? The water's too strong for anyone to just stand still.
That really changes how you look at the whole dating scene. We are all just trying to survive the flood.
We are.
Well, that gives us a lot to mull over. On this channel, we don't serve instant feel-good quotes, but stay with you to see the real world.
Welcome to Follow the Light and Soaring Free channel. Share our content, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. See you next time.